the younger one, when I was talking to him always on IMO, he would say, who's this? And she always say, that's your papa. No. And I always tell him, I'm your father.
The first time Sammy met his second son was at the airport.
The elder one just came and hugged me. He was just standing there and staring at me. Was happy to meet him and tears of joy.
Sammy was a seasonal worker and he got stuck in Australia for nearly 3 years when borders closed due to the pandemic.
I find it very hard for me. We talk every day. That's what kept us together.
It was really hard for me because I was only me looking after the child.
This is what I get after 3 years. It's behind me, my house. I did build my house. I thank her because she's the one supporting me a lot, encouraging me a lot. People, they want to abscond. She told me, don't do that. Just stay quiet there. Just do your job.
They stayed together, but for other families, the separation can be too much.
I felt sorry for some of my friends and their families too. I think they got broken homes. And I tried to help them rebuild their homes again, but they always told me 3 years is too long.
Stress planning. So you worry after 4 months, some reduction they stop.
Vanuatu's Department of Labour says they've seen an increase in the reporting of issues like extramarital affairs, childcare, welfare, culture shock and financial issues.
It becomes a challenge in that they're not focusing on the families back home anymore, and then kids and spouses back home become the victim. But not just that, it's workers who are away for a long period of time. They tend to involve in a lot of really bad things that we don't encourage. Example, drinking and driving and spending the money recklessly. So all the aims of them going and joining the program in the first place is kind of ignored and forgotten.
In ni-Vanuatu culture, it's not just the nuclear family that's impacted when this happens.
If it becomes an issue, then the tribal chief will step in and bring it into the bigger community. If they're weaving mat, they will talk about it. If they're with the mamas, they will talk about it. If it's a husband, we would be out drinking alcohol, they will talk about it.
We know the challenges they face in the absence of the spouse. Disloyalty can happen and mismanagement of the roles in the home.
Also, acknowledge Pastor George, the SPA.
It's why the Family Ireri program was developed in partnership with NGOs to prepare workers and their spouses for the challenges of separation.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
You're right. When we go in this workshop, we know how to fix, we know how to go through some big challenges that we can't face before. We need to communicate every day. After work, we must communicate to feel that she was at home, or like I'm with her in Australia.
As you can see, steps are being made to minimise the social harms arising from the program, but more still needs to be done.
We're trying to build a labour mobility policy that will strengthen the program.
We have not done that.
The Commissioner of Labour has also issued a directive where we do not allow for extension of contracts. So if you are going there for a 9-month contract, that is a definite 9-month contract. You cannot extend in any way.
Country liaison officers or CLOs play a really important role in supporting workers and investigating welfare issues. At the moment, there are just 2 CLOs for the roughly 11,000 ni-Vanuatu workers sent to Australia.
We hope that in giving that empowerment to community liaison officers will assist in minimising the social issues, because at the moment we find that the workers feel more comfortable to approach this our CLO in Australia to discuss their issues, and even are more comfortable to get the CLO's advice on what to do going forward.
Welcome to Australia. You have come to Australia as a seasonal worker.
There's no arguing the economic win for Australia and Pacific countries under the PALM scheme. But these workers are not machines. They're people with families and communities.
I don't want my kids to grow up with no father. We're not working for ourselves. We're working to build the future for our kids.